So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gerasimos Spiridakis. I'm the new chairman of MIT Enterprise Forum Greece. It is my real pleasure to welcome you to our Perfect Pitch Night. I guess this is the first one to be streamed online. We're very sorry that we don't have everybody in one room as we have done for the past 5 or so years. But we live in challenging times, and those times they require new approaches, and we are thankful about the technology that enables us to have this at least virtual meeting. This is the first opportunity for the startups to present their venture to select audience. And since early February, our semi-finalists have attended a very rigorous workshop program, and they've run over the course of 5 long weekends. They've met regularly with the mentors, we have connected them. And over this short but very intensive period, they have managed to significantly improve their ventures, the way they present, and they're ready to present them what they do to us tonight. The next step is the selection of the ventures that will enter the final round, and they will be part of the finals and the awards event, which is going to take place sometime in late June. We'll give you the exact date soon. The selection will take place of the finalists will take place in late April. And from then on, we have a lot of webinars for the finalists in order to help them further improve their presentation skills and how they pitch their businesses. So our teams until now have come a long way to go, but of course, we're very excited about this project, and we believe that you will be excited with us tonight about the breadth of the applicants, the topics they address, and the depth of the technology that they're all deploying. This is the 6th version of our acceleration program, which has been established as one of the best technology acceleration programs in the country. We are striving to help the local technology community with all our resources, and eventually all together help make Greece a technology hub. But of course, we're not alone in this effort. We have a lot of people who support us, and we have our sponsors. So I would like to take a minute to thank our sponsors, the Hellenic Petroleum, which is our exclusive sponsor of the energy track, UBS, they are our annual gold sponsor. Our other sponsors like Eurobank, the Bodosaki Foundation, and Tiresias. I would like also to thank our strategic partners, Syllipsis, Ernst & Young, Korn Ferry, Potaminis Vekris Law Firm, Alba, Forest View, Demokritos Research Center, Drakopoulos and Vassallakis Law Firm, and Plexis. Our hospitality sponsor is Intercontinental Athens. Our event sponsors is Coca-Cola 3Epsilon and eFood. Our technology stack partner is Amazon Web Services, and our communication and community sponsors. I would like very much, from the bottom of my heart, to thank the teams that trusted MIT Enterprise Forum Greece to help them grow their businesses. We're looking forward to some amazing startups in this competition. I would also like to thank Linda Plano for running this great workshop, and of course, this amazing event for another year. This is the 7th year, right, Linda? You've done an amazing job. Excellent. You've done an amazing job with more than 140 teams in the past 6 years, including the ones that you will hear tonight. So thank you very much, Linda, for your support. And then last but not least, I would like to thank a few persons, Vasilis Papakonstantinou, the previous chairman and now the vice chairman of MIT Enterprise Forum Greece, Antigoni Molodanov, Stefi Tsamurari, and of course the rest of the MIT Enterprise Forum Greece team, the organizing team, the advisory board, everybody that make this happen. Be safe, be socially distant, but physically, not digitally, going forward. I will hope that you will enjoy the evening. Best of luck to the startups. Thank you very much.
Hi, Linda, Gerasimos, Vasilis, Antigoni, all of you. You are a great team anyway. I'm glad that we are working together for a 2nd year, and hopefully we have a lot of nice things and great ideas to see in the near future. Well, it's a unique period as economic activity is seriously curtailed due to the quarantine measures aiming to limit the spread of coronavirus pandemic. On the other hand, we are looking ahead to a better future, and it is challenged by your innovative ideas. Hellenic Petroleum is pleased to be the exclusive sponsor for the energy track of this year's startup competition by the MIT Enterprise Forum. Well, frankly speaking, business as usual is no longer an option for the energy sector. The predominant task of policymakers, business leaders, and other stakeholders involved in energy is to find ways to accelerate the process for delivering the vast amounts of low carbon energy that will be needed in the coming decades to support economic growth. So the energy sector is undergoing a large-scale transformation that introduces both risks and unique opportunities for investors. The energy mix is evolving not only as a response to climate change challenge, but also because of the increasing competitiveness of alternative energy sources versus the conventional ones. Hellenic Petroleum is committed to the energy transition and climate change mitigation, and this is fully reflected on our long-term strategy. Conventional fuels will still be required for the next decades, while alternative technologies develop and eventually replace them. But new ideas and innovation generally are critical. Moving away from fossil fuels is a challenge for energy players. To identify new energy sources, to integrate technology, and build new business models to capture value. Fleet electrification is proposed as a strategy to reducing air pollutant emissions and improving air quality in urban areas. Bioenergy is a valuable option for energy transition with positive synergies with other policy priorities, including water and food security, while improving economic growth and stability. At Hellenic Petroleum, we see the future as a symbiosis with innovative industries of the future, in an environment of transparency and participation in sustainable circular economy and resource-saving strategies. Our vision is to facilitate the energy transition in the Eastern Mediterranean by maximizing returns in our core business and developing a diversified, best-in-class energy portfolio. We are supporting new technologies in energy and transport by participating in R&D projects with various academic institutions and research centers, and by applying pilot applications of alternative technologies, including electric vehicle charging points in selected petrol stations. A corporate venture capital is also under consideration in order to support entrepreneurship and innovation. Our first step was to develop renewable electricity to diversify group's energy portfolio while offsetting part of CO2 emissions due to refining and power generation. We have already 26 megawatts of wind and photovoltaic assets in operation, while we are developing a vast portfolio of over 600 megawatts in various maturity stages. Our next steps include investments in next-generation biofuels that will be produced from innovative conversions of biomass and waste, renewable hydrogen applications, and electromobility. As a company, we are supporting the energy track of this competition because we believe in the new ideas and the creative thinking of all of you. So the floor is yours to present your creativity. Good luck.
My name is Linda Plano, and I like to say that I have the best job in the world because I get to work with smart, creative, and passionate people, just like all of our participants, and help them make their dreams come true. So let me tell you a little bit about the pitches before we dive right in, and then I promise you we'll get to all of the exciting content. I'm really disappointed to be in Boston. It's one of the best things about working with the MIT Enterprise Forum of Greece is that I get to spend a couple of weeks working one-on-one with the entrepreneurs. So we've had an incredibly intense time working online and in person when possible, plus racing home to Boston in the middle of things almost closing down. So I gave a one-day workshop on the 9th of March for the 22 semifinalists plus 2 teams from EGG. Each of them has received at least 2 hours and some more of initial pitch coaching, and then a 30 to 45 minutes long pitch polish session. What they learned from me is my 10 questions every pitch should answer, and to tune their words for the ears of their audience. It's really important not to talk about what you do so much as why the audience should care about it. So that's what you should be looking for here, right? It's been very intense, very short time frame, and so you'll see a lot of influence of plain and simple kind of templates throughout, but the main point is be listening for that message, okay? You should be seeing mostly clean slides and graphics, engaging titles, a smart ask at the end, and it's only because I've been sick for the whole week that I actually let somebody get a video in there, and I paid for it this morning, which is why we wound up being delayed here, but I think it all works perfectly now. Just to get you on some of those 10 questions, the things you should be seeing in each of the pitches is why you should care about what they're talking about, what it is that they do, why they're going to win against all of their competition. So not the whole competitive landscape, but just the competitive advantage, their niche where they see a dominant place. They need to talk to you about why you should believe that it's going to work. Do they have a prototype? Do they have any traction? A business model, or how are they going to attract customers, and how are they going to serve them? What are they going to sell them? How much are they charging? Those kinds of issues. Why them? Why is this the best possible team for moving this company forward from where it is today to the future? And finally, what will they do, and what do they need in order to move things forward? There's a few more questions that usually get answered, but that takes a 10-minute pitch, and we're cramming a lot of information into 5 minutes each. So these are the ones that you should see in every one. You may see a little bit of extra, some financials here and there, some intellectual property on some of them, and so on. But this basic set is what they should be showing you today. This is the pitch order. You have this as a handout as well. I'm so sorry to say that we're not going to be able to hear from DeepWave. Their work is keeping them very occupied and supporting people during the coronavirus crisis. So we are very sad to not have them here today, but wish them the best of luck and health and safety wherever they are and what they're doing. All right, at this point, it is time to move forward to B-Notes. All right, let's rock and roll then. In fact, B-Notes is a very important company for the well-being of the environment and the climate.
Hello, my name is Notis, and I'm the co-founder of B-Notes, a startup with a vision to introduce technology in the beekeeping sector in order to protect the bees and support the beekeepers. The fact is that healthy bees are absolutely essential for agriculture, pollination, and food production. And there is an important lack of data in the sector. 1 out of 4 jars of honey on the supermarket shelves is tainted. And this is happening because there is not enough information to trace back the honey to its flora origin. Combined with poor training for the majority of the beekeepers, the result is poor health for the bees and falling populations, both of which are threatened pollination and eventually food security. But when you are on site, dressed up like an astronaut, it's impossible to use pen and paper. So beekeepers improvise, writing anywhere, even on rocks, to record the info, which is minimal. This is not enough. Beekeeping is complex, numerous parameters influence the growth of the colonies, and there is a great need for a sophisticated method of data collection. And this is what we do in B-Notes. We use a standard phone, but everything is voice activated. Data collection is automatic, and then analysis, working methodologies, and a decision support system are offered on a web platform. We have estimated that this platform will increase productivity by a minimum of 30%. And this is what differentiates us from the competition. There are other companies in the domain that collect data, but we are the only one that transforms the collected data to useful information to trace the origin of the produced honey and to improve production techniques. It's a simple solution, user-friendly, that provides guidance to the beginner and a tool for the professional to optimize all production parameters. We are entering this spring beta testing with major bee cooperatives and bee companies. Tests will run for 4 months during the summer to assess user experience and the exact impact on productivity. Our approach to enter the market is to leverage cooperatives and large beekeeping companies, and through them gain access to their network of users. Then, through partnerships with agricultural software companies as our distributors, we will expand to the EU, which is the second largest honey producer worldwide after China. Our beachhead market within the EU consists of 4 Mediterranean countries, which are also the most dynamic markets, producing 40% of the European honey, valued at 700 million euros. Our starting point is Greece, where we are well positioned as we maintain close relationships with the communities of the producers, the researchers, and the traders. Okay, why would our customers buy our product? It will increase their production by 30%, and most importantly, traceability will allow them to control the quality of honey and get a premium of 100% on the price per unit. We expect to attract 1,500 users by the end of year 1 and break even, expand to 2,500 users by the end of year 2, and finally, by the end of year 3, to have 6,000 users that will bring revenues of approximately 4 million euros. We have the necessary expertise for every aspect of the technical and the business part of the project, together with many years of accumulated experience. So far, we have invested 25,000 euros to prepare for beta testing. In 2021, 500,000 will allow us to establish ourselves in Europe. By 2022, we will need 2 million to develop a variety of services and expand worldwide. Our goal is to become the leading bee support system in Europe by 2023. In a modern world, bees cannot survive without the beekeepers. Supporting this symbiotic relationship is hugely important for the future of agriculture and the health of the entire ecosystem. Please join us. Thank you.
And I guess a question for me would be, so when do you see yourselves as entering into the US market, or do you think the US market already has some solutions in play?
Well, the US market is a little different market than ours, because beekeepers there make most of their money from pollination services, and also is a very competitive market. So we see ourselves working with Europe first, and probably Australia and New Zealand that are closer to us. And at the second stage, after establishing ourselves, to move to the US market. And that will be, I would think, after the second year, probably the third year, we'll start doing that.
Great. Okay, we have a question from the audience. How do you plan to monetize the data that you collect?
Okay. We'll monetize our application by offering it through subscriptions, right? So beekeepers will pay a monthly subscription depending on the services we offer. Now, on top of that, we have the basic, the pro, the enterprise. We offer different features for each version. But apart from that, at the later stage, data can be used for various reasons. One of that would be consulting to professional beekeepers and enterprises, or also will be for policy making. There are a number of things that we are thinking and we are planning for revenue, to generate revenues. But
okay, that was your signal that time is up. Unfortunately, we have so many pitches, we're going to have to keep really moving. But thank you for that answer, and we will hold more Q&A at the very end of the program for those of you who are interested. Thanks, great job. So let me move forward. Our next speaker is Argyris Skouloudis. I'm sorry about butchering Greek names. I should be better at it by now, but sorry I'm not. Founder and CEO of Alumni Reach. And we're not talking about college reunions here, but about leveraging the value in corporate alumni.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Hello, As Linda said, I'm Argyris Kouloudis, and I'm the founder and CEO of Alumni Reach. Past employees remain a largely untapped resource for most companies, even though it is continuously growing and is full of people that are capable and willing to give back to their former employer. There are operational expenses that are associated with business development, recruiting, and marketing that companies tend to depend on employees, consultants, or customers to help them optimize. Our mission is to help companies get help at a much lower cost from those who are willing to give back, their alumni. Alumni engagement can yield significant savings in operational expenses and can help enhance business processes and build stronger reputation for company brand. But alumni benefit too. Being an active member of an alumni network not only does it offer rewards from the company, but also great networking and professional opportunities. Because of its size, LinkedIn is currently the major player when it comes to professional networking, and it is used by most companies to track and stay in touch with their former employees. However, this is not a very efficient process, since LinkedIn offers limited functionality and lacks many of the tools that modern alumni platforms offer. This is perhaps the reason why LinkedIn used a third-party platform for their alumni network. This is the Alumni Reach way, a unified platform that makes the interaction between the company and the former employees easy, effective, and engaging, and that connects and gathers data from various sources. With our scoring and recommendation engine, we scan the alumni network, identify the best possible contacts per case, and offer the most effective way to communicate with them, while our campaign manager makes the communication fast and simple. Our powerful gamification engine, fully integrated with the alumni portal, keeps the network engaged and nurtured. There are several companies that are dealing with alumni networks, but the majority is focusing on institutions like universities and colleges. The ones that are targeting corporate alumni networks lack the tools to help companies assess alumni data and make alumni targeting more effective, and do not offer any structured way to incentivize engagement within the network. Our target market consists of all medium-sized and large companies in Europe and USA. There are more than 400,000 companies, which makes a total addressable market of €1 billion. Our beachhead market is the technology companies with more than 50 people in Greece and UK. Our business model is subscription-based, and we are charging between €99 per month to €399 per month, depending on functionality and the size of the network. Our early adopters will come from our network and friends and family. We are currently focusing on HR department as well as sales and marketing executives, and we will work closely with them to fine-tune our platform and offerings. The next step is to expand to digital advertising, deploying automation techniques, and we will use inbound marketing so that the customer will come to us, focusing on search engine optimization, Google Ads, and content marketing. We are also looking into some useful partnerships with complementary platforms in the near future in order to scale. We already have our first pilot test in progress. Our partner was seeking for an automated and more efficient way to assess and manage the data of more than 1,000 former employees in order to identify potential business needs and rehires. We provided them with a web, easy-to-use web application with advanced capabilities and tools, and we are very excited about the first feedback we are getting. It proves that we are in the right direction. Our team is awesome. I'm really proud about my team. We all met while we were studying for a master's degree in electronic business management at the University of Warwick some 20 years ago. Vivian has extensive experience in marketing and communication, and her role is customer acquisition via digital marketing. And Dimitris is our software architect who transforms business needs into alumni tools. I'm leading the whole company, and my role is to provide direction and vision to the team. And also, I'm heavily involved with business development at the moment, especially now at the beginning. Our company was founded just last August with mostly our own money, and we have created a proof of concept. And we are now seeking €250,000 that will give us an 18-month runway to finish the development, go live with a fully featured platform, sign 40 customers, and serve more than 50,000 members. I'm glad to have you involved with us, and please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much.
Excellent. 17 seconds to spare, and we have a question from the audience. So what can you tell us what is the value proposition for the individual? I'm guessing for the alumnus in that case.
The value proposition is the main value proposition is networking, opportunities, a tool to find professional opportunities, and of course rewards that the company chooses to give to award their corporate employees.
What evidence do you have about how much people would pay for this?
Okay, our service is going to be free for the alumni, so they are not paying anything. Our customers is going to be the companies, and for example, if you buy the tools that LinkedIn currently offers, then we're talking about 300 or 400 euros per month. So this is an entry point for this kind of platform.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. We'll just skip through these next ones. And on to Energygenics. Our next speaker, Savas Roumeliotis, is co-founder and CTO, and this is a company that delivers renewable energy continuously, no matter where the sun is shining or when the wind is blowing.
Thank you very much, Linda. So hello to all friends and colleagues. My name is Savas Roumeliotis, and I'm the co-founder and CTO at Energygenics, where our passion and mission is to deliver renewable energy to the world 24/7 all year long. Having that 24-hour renewable energy generation is critical for our modern way of life. Relying on other renewable energy sources, we can see that solar is a steady source of energy, but very short in period of time, while wind energy can be nice and strong, but unfortunately, the power output is intermittent and dependent on wind strength. So at Energygenics, we're taking advantage of temperature differentials to generate power almost continuously, day and night, no matter the weather or season. This is based on the thermoelectric effect, where different materials on different temperatures will generate voltage potential, thus creating current flow and power. Our novel design is configured in such a way to achieve usable power generation at temperatures gradients as low as 20 to 40 degrees Celsius. This really differentiates us from the competition, where they really typically require huge amounts of temperature gradients to achieve usable energy. On this slide, you can see. Sorry.
You're showing the subterranean structure schematic.
Okay, it's not showing on my screen, but anyway, on this slide you can see a virtual example of what the device could be in the future. In comparison to other renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind, our solution is almost a completely underground structure, allowing the usage of the surface by the landowner and protecting the wildlife and fauna of the surrounding environment. Heat from the underground will travel upwards towards the thermocouple device, whereas another heat transfer structure will connect the other end to the temperature of the surface. We have the chance to be extremely competitive, given the fact that a lot of countries invest heavily in solar energy, but there is not so much sun exposure. So we have the chance to be extremely competitive, given the fact that a lot of countries invest heavily in solar energy, but there is not so much sun exposure. Our solution can be quite promising, since the cost of 1 kilowatt in 24 hours can come as little as $180 compared to the $250 for solar. The biggest advantage is that this is delivered on a fraction of the land, with much less maintenance cost and a much more robust installation. Okay, so as a first step, Energygenics will create strong partnerships and provide devices to sales and installers to increase the value of their installations. To keep costs down and create a positive cash flow, we will be providing our solution to distributors in order to reach the B2B market in 2021. Our main focus will be primarily on the high latitude, where naturally temperature gradients are higher and thus increasing efficiency. Specifically, we aim to start from the Swedish market, also due to the fact that Sweden is the leading market investing in renewable resources. By implementing this kind of savings, we will be able to penetrate quickly into the renewable energy market and expand to the commercial market, reaching break-even by the end of 2022. Our goal is to saturate the Swedish market before expanding to the rest of Scandinavia, and then the rest of Europe, Russia, Canada, and so on. On the next slide, we can see we will succeed because we understand complex systems and how to manage them. Our team is comprised of a very strong management team with proven experience in startups, business development, and extensive experience in high-tech systems. Next month, our team will welcome on board recent engineers with degrees based on the solution we are developing, with expertise around physics, microelectronics, VLSI, and more. The next slide. So this team is going to work together self-funding to produce a proof of concept and expand collaboration with colleagues in Sweden to initiate direct sales there. We plan to raise 1.5 million at the end of 2020 to fund the work of running our first beta test, file for patents and industrial designs, expand across the EU, and reach 1 million in sales. In 2022, we will raise more than 8.5 million to expand to other parts of the world, such as North America, Russia, and reach minimum 5 million in sales. Finally, a larger round by 2024 will raise more than 60 million to roll out the large scale-ups, expand across the globe, and specifically to places that are neglected of clean energy, because other renewable sources do not have the right characteristics for sun or wind. And finally, thank you so much. We hope you're as excited as we are about the potential for thermoelectric energy. We welcome you to join us for making Energygenics a reality.
Wow, right on time. I gave you a couple of extra seconds. I paused it while we were getting everything straight.
Thank you, Linda.
Okay, you have 2 questions, so let's see how quickly you can answer them. First one is the solution tested and proven? Where and in what scale? Is there an educational or research institution with which you are working?
So we have done a small model in laboratory conditions, in closed laboratory conditions. We have some results that we have double-checked with other papers we have found online. Because you can understand that this is novelties based on a very complex technology, we would like to this is why we would like to raise some money in order to begin our alpha testing. Right now, we are in the theoretical designing of the alpha test prototype.
And this is important. It actually got already answered. So thank you very much. The other question was, is this patented technology? So good for you. Well done. And let's keep on moving. Thank you so much. Please mute yourself. Okay, number 5, as I mentioned earlier, number 4, which was deep wave. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, they needed to skip this while they're helping people out. So Aurora, Angelos and you, this is a really cool technology from a material scientist perspective, which is what I used to be.
Thank you, Linda. Hello, my name is Angelos Zeniu, and I'm the CEO of Aurora Plasma Tools, where we specialize in the engineering of superior surfaces in manufacturing and maintenance. Our first target is addressing paint adhesion, which is a huge problem, especially in the luxury yacht market. And in Greece, we have more than 5,000 Greek yachts to address this problem. Okay. The reason for this is the contaminants that's left behind on the hull or paint that over time, due to the water, soil, and air that are trapped underneath the paint, they grow and they create blisters. Okay, and we're using air, water, and soil that creates blistering in the hull. Standard surface cleaning is inadequate by the use of sandblasting or water jets or mechanical abrasion. That they usually leave leftovers, contaminants on the surface to be painted, and they're usually labor-intensive or damaging or insufficient, and usually produces hazardous waste. Next slide, please.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Aurora uses cold plasma in place of chemicals and grit, which is actually the fourth state of matter, a cloud of ions, neutrals, and electrons that interact with the surface in order to clean it. A new method that is dry, safe, and easy to use. What we are doing with this technology is we swipe from the top of the paint, and with our technology, we remove the paint and the contaminants that left in the micro and nano structure, which is actually the technology that we have patented for cleaning, etching, and coating. Next slide. And we want to launch this product in the Greek retail market through direct sales in the shipyards. And by 2023, we want to enter the global international retail shipyards. we want to address a secondary market at 2025 through distributions in the US modular house construction industry, which has similar paint adhesion problems as the Greek shipyards. The pricing for our system would be around 100K to 150, depending on the functions we want to put in, and we'll also have some lease options for the purchaser. We will also have a second stream with an 8% of annual maintenance of our device. And what we are doing actually, although we have a more expensive system than what people are usually using, through these technologies that we save them, we can deliver a 1-year payback to the buyer, because a typical shipyard that maintains around 100 ships per year can save from our technology from 1,000 to 3,000 euros per ships, and enhancing their reputation by giving a more adequate product to their customer. We will have a 3-year. In the 2021, we'll have a break even from our starting, and we will go through 2025, 24. Our team has deep expertise and experience in plasma technology, and we come from the research center NCCR Demokritos. And what we want is $500,000 investment for growth in order to complete our prototype and go to a beta product, and at 2023 enter the global market. Thank you.
All right, great job. And sorry about the delays in the responsiveness. You have to have that last picture with the great plasma there. You do have a question. Let's see. Is the reputation of the shipyards an important factor for them?
When they are addressing actually in the luxury yacht market, not the commercial market, they provide a better, if they have a paint failure during sea, the customer will return their ship, they will ruin their name, and they will have to repaint it for free. So yes.
Well, okay, second question, because you've been so fast. In the Greek water, yachts experience sea growth, but how will this yacht with plasma be protected?
Actually, what we are providing is giving a better adhesion to the paint they already using. So by removing all the contaminants on the hull or the paint they have, because they have several paints on top of another, we can have a better adhesion of the paint and last longer.
Okay, great. So just for clarity, that means that the plasma is not protecting the hull. The plasma is removing the contaminants and allowing the paint to stick better. All right, great. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on. Okay, on to Homey. So we're moving from the from high-tech ways of cleaning your yacht to high-tech ways of buying your next home. Let's see, Alex, how's your audio working for you now?
Yes, can you hear me, Linda?
Oh, thank heavens, yes. So glad to hear that. Sorry, hold on a second while I get the mouse to the right person instead of the previous people.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alexandros, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Homey. As I present today, we are all at home. We have realized how important home can be. Therefore, shouldn't the process of finding a home like this one be easy and pain-free? Well, in Greece, it isn't. It's very difficult and complicated. So why is it so difficult? In an ideal world, buyers and sellers would deal directly with one another. However, if they're only doing it once or twice in their lives, it could be a disaster. Agents are supposed to make things easier, but in many cases, they make it more difficult. They act as gatekeepers of information, produce poor quality listings, and many don't even return phone calls, which leaves buyers and sellers frustrated and no closer to the deal they deserve. This is where Homey comes in. By equipping buyers and sellers with the right tools we make the process easier and more efficient for everybody. So how do we do this? With 4 simple steps. First, you go to the Homey listing. Then you take a virtual tour and see a 3D floor plan. And how awesome is that, especially right now when we can't even leave our home? If you like what you see, in a few clicks, you can book your viewing online and directly message the seller with any questions you have. After falling in love with the property, you can complete the deal quickly and easily with our online transaction coordinator. Now let's look at the market. There are some players that are doing a pretty good job, such as Engel and Volkers. However, it is difficult for them to provide the same level of transparency in communications and efficiency in transaction coordination. As a result, it is very expensive for their customers. It's so expensive that both buyers and sellers pay 2% commission in order to cover the high costs of the standard agency. With Homey, the seller only pays €100 and the buyer a fixed fee of €3,500, which also encourages rapid take-up. This leads to an accumulation of property data which can be anonymized and leveraged by banks and other financial institutions or just institutions in general. Our model, this model has been successful in a lot of other countries, and successful players such as Spanish prop tech Housefee. Housefee charged €4,000 to sell a property. They validated their business, raised capital, and outspent competitors in marketing to stay ahead. So what about Homey? Homey is the fast follower, but the first mover in Greece. The platform is live, and we have landed a pilot program with a property fund and have received 50 inquiries within our first week of marketing. So what's the plan? In our first year, we will focus on brand awareness and lead generation. Once we have done 20 sales, we will raise €300,000 to develop the platform and spend aggressively on marketing. By year 5, we will be present across all of Greece, having completed 3,000 transactions, representing 3% of the market. Let's see who will execute the plan. My co-founder, Christian, is the financial guy and CFO. With solid buy-side investment banking experience in London, he will keep us on track to achieve our financial targets. Yanis is our tech guy. With 2 years experience as a full stack developer, he will continue to improve the platform so we can stay ahead of our competition. I have 5 years experience in real estate and wealth management across Melbourne, New York, and London. I am on the ground making sure customers are being served and providing the necessary resources to the team so they can succeed. We also have a highly experienced advisory board supporting us. Arthur has 6 years experience as COO of REA Group, a global real estate platform valued at €6 billion. He assists us with strategy and platform development. And Stan has 22 years experience at PwC. He advises us on navigating the complexities of doing business in Greece. As we've seen, real estate has been slow to adopt new technology and lags far behind many other sectors. Now more than ever, technology can improve our lives, especially in times of crisis. This is why Home is modernizing the entire process of buying and selling a home to make it easier and more efficient for everybody. See for yourself now. You can go online and book your free valuation and be a part of the Homey journey. Thank you very much.
9 seconds to spare and 3 questions. So great job. First question, if you can answer them quick enough, we'll do 2. All right. So how do you plan to acquire buyers willing to commit to $3,500?
Okay, so through our marketing is how we will attract our buyers. At the moment, we're doing social media marketing, and that has been proven successful with the amount of leads and engagement. And one of the biggest tools that we have is over our free valuation tool. We offer a free valuation to acquire customers.
Great.
So they can opt in.
I'm going to try to push you here. How do you plan to assist sellers in generating the 3D models, or do you think the average seller can do it? Keep it short.
No, we do it for them.
Great. Have you thought about approaching the Chinese buyers market?
Yes. Look, I think it's relatively small. However, it is a market that we can address.
Okay, great. And last one, how is this different from Purple Brick and others, or is it just the same but in Greece?
Very similar. It's essentially we adopt the same model, however, tweak it and customize it to Greece. So it's so customers here can benefit from it.
That was awesome. 4 questions in 1 minute. You record holder. Great job. Thank you so much. And now we move on to Trip Genie, featuring Renia Rigovolou, the co-founder. This is an exciting new way to save so much time planning the trips that you're going to take as soon as the coronavirus disaster is.
Thank you, Linda. Hi everyone, I am Renia and I'm one of the co-founders of Trip Genie, where we aim to make travel planning a simple and fun experience for everyone. Can you move to next?
It's going.
Have you ever tried to plan for a long trip by yourself? Next, please. So this is if you're one of us, this is you know that the amount of work that required to plan for a long trip, and this is what we have been doing for the past 10 years, using Excel files, PDFs, Google Maps to organize our trips. And it's especially painful when you have to collaborate with other people and you have to agree on budgets, on experiences, or where to stay, you know, what things you want to do. So at Trip Genie, we want to become a one-stop shop for anything a traveler needs. We want to build an app where everyone can collaborate and build an itinerary in a very structured way. And then they can maximize their experience while they're traveling by getting updates about their travels, their flights, reminders about their reservation. They could even use the app even when they're flying without internet connection. And when they're back, they can also share their itinerary with their friends, or even sell it to other travelers that they're looking to travel to the same destination. There are benefits for both customers and travel agents. On the B2C side, what we want to offer the customer is that we want to allow them to book their trips, book their flights, their accommodation, their restaurants, and everything they want through our platform. They will be able then to put everything together and build their itinerary in a structured way. While they're traveling, they will be able to make changes to the reservations, to the trip, to their itinerary. And later, when they're back, they can keep their itinerary for themselves, or they can also share it with other people or sell it to other users of our platform. But we won't stop on B2C. We want to also work with tour operators. We want to offer a white label solution for them so tour operators can improve their customer experience. We also want to allow them to list their itineraries on our platform so they can attract more users in different markets. And we also could work with businesses that they want to improve the way they manage business itineraries for their employees. So there are many segments that we could focus on, like groups, couples, families, solo travelers, weekenders, and business people. But we will focus first on groups. That's because it takes so much time for them to collaborate and organize a trip, almost 100 days before they start traveling. They represent 5% of the global bookings, but this means also 38 billions in terms of value. We are currently working on our MVP, and in 2020 we are going to pilot our product with our community, so users can build their own itinerary by themselves. And later on in 2021 we want to launch the marketplace where people can sell their itineraries. And later on in 2022 we want to allow also travel agents to sell itineraries on our platform, and we would also work on white label solutions. Aiming by end of that year, we're going to have 100K itineraries on our platform, so a very big database. In terms of a pricing model, we're going to go with freemium, so users will be able to use the app for free or pay a subscription for extra features. And on the B2B side, tour operators will be paying per user per trip. And on top of that, we're going to be getting 50% commission on all itinerary sales on our platform. Both Renato and I are coming from a tech background. We have been both working for a long time in tech, and we both love traveling so much that we want to make it a stress-free experience for everyone. We are right now we have self-funded the MVP that we're going to be launching in the next month, but we are looking for 500K to support the further development of the app and the launch of the marketplace, because we want to hire more people in our team. And later on, we are looking for further investment so we can expand our services and the features on our platform and offer a full self-serve experience for our B2B users as well. That's it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
All right, great job. So one question I have is, what is it? So groups are a great niche initial target market, a beachhead market for you, and because it is they have the most pain. But they're doing these really short trips. And are these really short trips going to be something that are useful for other groups? Won't they be so personalized as to not be that useful for different kinds of groups?
We believe that by solving trip planning for groups, then the platform that we're going to be building is going to be easy and accessible and to work for any other user. It's really hard to get like 5 or 6 people to work on a plan for their trip, like in arrange dates, plan, budget, etc. So if it works for groups, so groups are 3 or more people traveling together, it could work for any other type of user.
Okay, question from the audience. TripAdvisor helps you to do this too. So how do you differentiate yourself?
On TripAdvisor, you can search for places, read reviews about restaurants, hotels, etc. It doesn't help you organize your trip in a structured way and collaborate with your friends. Like you can collect information from TripAdvisor, but then you need to collide all this information in one place. And right now, users mainly use Excel files and PDFs to do so, and they cannot collaborate really. It's like everyone has their own version sometimes. So on our platform, you'll be able to search for ideas about your travel, but also build your itinerary, your plan with your friends, and everyone has editing access on it. And you'll be able to use it as you go as well.
Okay, great. That brings you right to the end of that 1 minute for Q&A. So thank you very much. Great job.
Thank you.
Oh, let me see, there was one follow-up I'll just leave you to think about. Will you use the cheaper flight search as well? So maybe if that's not a feature already, add that sucker in.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Mute yourself, please. Okay, so now we have the excitement of jumping over to the SARM project. All right. One of 2 engine technologies that we are talking about today. So Stefanos, the CEO, please take us away.
Hi, thank you, Linda. Hello, everyone. I am Stefanos Savakis. I'm the co-founder of the SAM project. For the past 5 years, our team is developing a new rotary internal combustion engine. And these engines are a vital component of the world economy, and this is why this industry has a market value of 400 billion within a year-over-year growth rate of 12%. Despite their importance, though, internal combustion engines are based on legacy technologies, and the entire industry is forced to spend more than 60 billion for the past 10 years in order to meet the strict environmental regulations that are being imposed every year. It is an enormous opportunity for a technology that can deliver on the industry's needs, which are high reliability, low cost, high compatibility with applications, and low maintenance requirements. If the same technology can also cover the industry's wants, then we can strongly expect this technology to be successful. The wants of the industry are exactly the following: low consumption, low weight, low size, and low emissions. And this is what we did. We created SARM. SARM is a rotary internal combustion engine designed from scratch, not based on legacy technologies, that is simple to manufacture and operate. And among others, it offers no lubrication requirements, low costs, low size and weight, and high efficiency. As we can see in the video, if it plays, I don't know if I can, our engine consists of 2 toroidal rings, the inner where the air is compressed, and the outer where the compressed air gets mixed with the fuel and the ignition takes place. Boom, that's it. This rotates the moving arm of the engine. Comparing our engine's features and benefits to those of all other novel, promising, and well-funded engines, we can observe how SARM outperforms the competition in all of the industry's needs and wants, with no sacrifices anywhere. In this slide, the top line corresponds to our engine. Its advantage in low RPMs is obvious compared to well-known brands such as Honda and Toyota. This translates to less fuel requirements. Although our engine is covering the needs of every application in the industry, we've decided to focus on the drones applications. It's right there in the middle of the slide. Since it is a rapidly growing industry with a total value close to 50 billion that strongly needs to utilize internal combustion engines who offer higher payload capabilities and longer flight durations. While developing our engine, though, we came up with 3 new products, and we call them codes. These are namely an air compressor, an air expander, and a pump, and share the same features and benefits with our engine. SARC, our compressor, is the one closer to being launched in the market, with a prototype currently finishing, performance that exceeds the competition up to 90%, and peak pressure up to 40% higher than the competition. SARC is covering all of the industry's needs, such as low maintenance, high pressure and oil-free operation, outperforming the sum of our competition in every area. Compared to the minimum energy consumption of all compressor types in all 3 application sizes, small, medium, and big ones, we offer additionally 20 to 38% gains. The air compressors industry is also quite big, here it is, with a 40 billion value and a year-over-year growth of 3.8%. And it is also suffering from strict environmental regulations, and this is a great opportunity for our technology. The number and variety of applications is large, but we have chosen the energy, oil, and gas applications, not because they're the biggest pieces of the market pie, but because it is cheaper and simpler for us to manufacture and license our tech for these apps. We plan to manufacture and sell, as well as license our technologies, and to do that, we will use our technology and business prizes, as well as our European Union grants, such as the Marie Curie, as our credentials in order to convince investors and customers. We are proud of our growing team, which includes my brother, who is the inventor of our technologies. He has more than 20 years of research and development experience and numerous awards and publications, our engineers, and we have support from professors and industry professionals across the planet. Our strategy is to start our call to investors in order to launch our new products faster, with the revenue of which we plan to fund the launch of our engine, which is our jewel. We will support this process with our participation in EU projects, partnerships, and customer acquisitions. Thank you, and stay healthy.
Thank you so much. Finished 45 seconds early, and you do have a question. Have you taken into account the zero carbon emissions by 2050?
Absolutely. Actually, we are reducing emissions by up to 80% because we are having a better explosion in the ignition. It's a technical anyway term. And yes, we are covering all regulations up to now and the closer future without any filters requirements.
And in addition, I mean, you're also developing these component parts that will still be parts of different kinds of applications, I would guess, even with electric engines, no?
That's true, yes. We can actually use our engine as an extended as it is, or we can use our engine as a modified electric engine as well in the future. So yeah, we're totally compatible with the change and the electric technology.
Great. Thank you so much. Good job.
Thank you.
Hello, Linda. Hello, on. Thank you. My name is Alex Chomatas. I'm the product owner of Mobito, and I'm here to present you how we shape the mobility of tomorrow. Looking at the big cities around the world, we see one common element, urbanization. This means that a lot of people are congested on city centers. This is a big challenge for cities and mobility businesses as they are struggling to manage and coordinate people movement. As a result, as we can see here, they are spending a lot of money on smart city and smart mobility solutions. Next one, please. Yes. Despite all of that spending, we do see that mobility ecosystems are still very, very complicated. We have too many individual mobility providers operating in cities, generating vast amount of data that is not communicated properly and it's not managed in efficient ways. Next, please. Therefore, cities and businesses struggle to acquire the data they need. Based on the existing client interactions that we have, we hear that many times they have to refer back to old traditional methods, releasing people on the street to manually count and find the information they need. At the same time, communicating this information is very challenging using emails, PDFs, and other types of hard copies. And as a result, processing this data and analyzing it is very difficult as the data come in various non-standard data formats. Next, please. So in Mobito, we take all of this hassle away with our platform. The way we do it is we ingest the data coming from all of these various data sources. We standardize it into easy to understand and use formats, and we deliver it to the appropriate stakeholder. In this way, our platform becomes a single point of access for anyone who wishes to find mobility information. For example, here, looking at a particular use case that we have, we see a tour operator who wants to find information about local parking regulation, points of interest within a city center, as well as street sensor data. Before, he would need more than 3 interactions with different data providers to find this. Now, he can find all of this information at once through our platform with a scalable and dynamic way. Next, please. And this can be done in an easy way from the user-friendly interface that we are developing. As you can see here, our tour operator can select the data categories that he wants on the left-hand side, such as parking, and next, please, points of interest, museums, and monuments. This is displayed on a map that all of us were familiar, and he can start consuming the data through an API. Now, we're different in terms of our competition in 2 ways, because we offer key functionalities both for the data placement as well as the data consumption, something that is very important in order to enable effective interactions of our users within our network and within our platform. Our go-to-market strategy starts by establishing pilot programs with cities. This will enable us to attract more data and more mobility services inside our platform that will eventually lead us in increasing the interactions and the network effects that are generated inside our ecosystem, inside our platform. In terms of the traction that we have so far, we're very happy to announce that we have our first agreement for a revenue-generating project. And in parallel, we are under negotiation to have 4 more pilot programs with cities. And on top of that, we have implemented more than 30 interviews with potential customers. And we're about to finish the development of the first version of our product, having integrated more than 15 external parties. For our business model, we plan to make money both from the data placement as well as the data consumption. And as the platform progresses and expands, we are going to offer sponsoring, data sponsoring with the associated charge. We have a great team to achieve all of this with cross-domain expertise. Most of us already served in a mobility startup as well as a leader in the car manufacturing industry. And on top of that, we have the support and guidance from industry experts and very successful entrepreneurs. So we have already secured 600K that helped us develop and launch our platform. Now we're doing a business angel round where we look to partner with investors that can bring us expertise to develop our platform and scale our business. This will help us to build the necessary traction that is needed in order to secure the next round of funding for us and to become a major mobility platform by 2024. If you want to be part of this exciting journey, then please scan this QR code if you have something in front of you, or connect into mobito.io/connect, and we will be more than happy to connect with you. Thank you very much.
Okay, question for you. Can you provide some insights on the type of problems that your platform is addressing from what you have learned from your client interviews?
Yes. So if we talk about cities, the problem that they face today is that they have too many mobility operators. For example, they have scooters, Lime, Hive, Uber, and car sharing scheme, ride-hailing schemes. All of these, they generate a lot of data, and for them, it's very difficult to control them. It's very difficult to organize the mobility that happens inside the city. Therefore, they need people like us to provide them the tools and the data in order to do that. And at the same time, for the data placement part that I mentioned, we have many individual players, small players that generate data. For example, they have a smart sensor installed in a city that counts people and asset movement, and they don't have enough clients. They don't have enough use cases to use this data and monetize from it. By accessing our platform and being part of our platform, we give them the opportunity to monetize their data.
Well done. Thank you so much. Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. Mute yourself, please. And now we move on to Cyrus, which is another energy type technology.
Hello, my name is Nikos. I'm a mechanical engineer and a member of Cyrus. Cyrus is a spin-off company of Demokritos Research Center, founded by experienced researchers who specialize in hydrogen systems. So, how did the name come along? Well, just like us, Cyrus Harding, a hero of Jules Verne's novel The Mysterious Island, believed that water will be the fuel of the future. 150 years have passed since this novel was written, and hydrogen has yet to reach its full potential in the market. And why so? Well, the good news are that hydrogen contains the most energy per kilogram than any other fuel, almost 3 times more than gasoline. But the bad news are that hydrogen is usually a gas, and as such, it takes up way more volume than liquid fuels. The only way to bypass this problem is by compressing hydrogen in a safe and economically viable way. At Cyrus, we have solved this problem by developing a hydrogen compressor, which instead of using moving mechanical parts, operates by thermal processes. Since you probably have never heard of such thing, allow me to explain how it works. The system is made up of tubes filled with extremely small metal particles called metal hydrides, which have the property of storing hydrogen in them. Hydrogen enters these tubes at low temperature and low pressure and gets stored in these metallic particles. And then when we provide heat, the hydrogen pressure rises. So finally, we are left with high pressure hydrogen just by providing heat. And this process can be repeated indefinitely, so we can reach hydrogen pressures up to 1,000 bars. Several sectors can make use of our product, such as the chemical industry or the energy storage industry, but we have chosen the transportation sector as our beachhead market. The unique properties of our product can be used in hydrogen refueling stations, which will be a common sight for the years to come. EU instructions regarding climate change can only help our case, since they have set the targets and rules, which will lead the hydrogen station market to flourish. A potential buyer for our product could be the hydrogen station operator or a big oil company that wants to extend their services and include hydrogen. In our case, the method of calculating the total addressable market is pretty straightforward, since we could assume 1 compressor per station and multiply it by the total number of stations in operation worldwide. We see that currently that figure is 130 million euros. The EU predicts that by 2025, 1 million hydrogen vehicles will be refilled in 830 hydrogen stations, which are planned to be operational all over Europe. These projections show an imminent growth of the hydrogen station market, which translates to 282 million market by 2025. Now, one might wonder why we're better than our competitors. Well, first of all, our product not only is cheaper to get and has a lower operation and maintenance cost, it also needs less electrical power to operate, thus cutting down significantly the annual cost of operation. More specifically, we can see that using our product, the potential user can save up to 11,000 euros annually. While the previous years had been spent in developing and testing our product in various projects, the time has come for its commercialization. And by having received initial funding for developing our product, we have already had contacts throughout Europe, and we are confident of selling 3 units by the end of the year. Our most conservative projections have us selling 9 units by 2021, another 15 by 2022, and 25 per year until 2025. This exponential increase of sales hopefully will lead to developing our own production line and subsequently a next generation product. This in turn will help in establishing credibility and having customers worldwide, leading finally to our expansion in different markets such as energy storage or the chemical industry. In order to minimize the time between the above steps, we're seeking for funding of 2 million euros, which will in turn help in ensuring we will stay constantly ahead of our competition. As you can see, our team has significant experience in hydrogen applications, and more specifically in the use of metal hydrides for compressing and storing hydrogen. We are very optimistic about our product, as we already have had advanced talks and negotiations with European hydrogen station operators in order to establish strategic collaborations. And hopefully by the end of the year, we will have an even bigger team so we can showcase our capabilities. Thank you.
Great job. That's really, really a nice pitch. We do have a few questions here. First one is there a marine market in your plans?
Come again, I didn't hear you.
Is there a market for marine applications, ocean applications for your design?
There are actually already ships that utilize hydrogen, so I guess hydrogen stations that refuel these boats can sooner or later be.
Okay, I'm sorry, you're a little bit hard to hear you. The next question is, are you dependent on any rare materials for your equipment?
Not really.
Excuse me? Say, get closer to the mic, please.
Really.
So you do have rare materials in the metal hydride?
No, I said no.
No, you said no. Okay, sorry, having a hard time hearing you. Okay, great. All right. That's it on the question. So great job. Thank you so much. And let's see. Moving on into the biotech arena, I think for the first time today.
Thank you so much, Linda. So I'm Dimitris. I'm the CEO of Biolum. I'm sure most of you now becoming familiar with rapid blood tests, given the unfortunate events with COVID-19, and this is basically the space that we're focusing on. So Biolum is developing a point-of-care diagnostic for bacterial sepsis. Sepsis is when you get the bacteria that reaches your bloodstream, and that affects about 30 million patients every year. Now, this may cause serious damages to the patient body, and unfortunately, 9 million people die every year of sepsis. And what is the problem? The problem is that standard lab-based diagnostic equipment take too long to provide the results of the clinicians in order for them to treat the patients at a very early stage. And this is what happens with sepsis every hour that every hour that passes with the patient going undiagnosed. So after 12 hours, you've got only one patient out of 5 that actually will survive the disease. And why is that happening? Because you've got a lot of time required for handling the patient sample, and at the same time, it takes a lot of time for a standard microbiological culture or state-of-the-art PCR to provide results. So it can take from a few hours up to a few days. Now, point-of-care diagnostic tests can actually avoid this long delay and save lives by diagnosing at a very early stage. And this is exactly where Biolum comes in, to deliver results in 15 minutes next to the patient. Our solution will have 2 main parts. One will be the diagnostic, the disposable chip that you see on the right, that will receive the patient blood. And then the chip will go right into the reader, the analyzer that you see on the left, in order to give the results of the clinician. And how does it work? So if we shed some light on our sensor chip, we get a response like this. Then if we deposit our analyte on the chip, for example, blood, and then we shed light again, we get a shift response. There is. So if we measure the shifting of this response, we can actually quantify the concentration of the targeted biomarker. And in fact, we can do that more times using the same chip and using the same sample to actually detect and quantify a complicated biomarker signature that is related to sepsis. So our innovation is clearly on the diagnostic engine, which is the sensor, which is the biosensing chip underneath, that will provide the necessary information to the clinician to identify infection, identify inflammation, differentiate between different kinds of bacteria, and most importantly, support the clinician to decide on the optimal treatment. And then all that will happen fast, at a low cost, and very, very sensitive. Now, Biolume, what actually makes Biolume stand out of the crowd is the fact that it can combine effectively the sensitivity and the multiplexing capabilities of lab-based approaches like culturing or PCR, but only doing it very fast and at very low cost. So our customers will be hospitals, and our customers will be able to save up to 4 million euros per year by using our device to treat sepsis patients on time. Our business model relies on affordable recurring fees, which means that we provide our blood analyzer, our blood reader to the customer for free, and then we charge the disposable chip at 15 euros per test. Blood testing is a growing market for sure, and we have estimated that our market in Europe and USA is about 600 million euros. Our team comprises of high caliber experts and PhDs in photonics, biology and in vitro diagnostics with a great clinical experience and systems engineering, where we do have a top tier advisory board. Now, we started a few years back with securing 4 million euros to do the research. Then we applied for patents. Then we started the company and we raised 600,000 euros in grants. And now we're looking for 400,000 to supplement our grants and advance the prototype and validate it in the clinic. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. I don't know what that other voice is that just came there, but let's see what we have for questions. There is a question that says presentation. I don't know what that means. Maybe they've lost it. All right, to Biolume, is your product able to be integrated to traditional laboratory information systems? If no, have you considered such an extension?
Well, it should be able to do that. Yes, I mean it's this is a matter of software and connectivity. We're already looking into that. So the answer is yes. This is something that we will look to integrate into our solution.
Great. And let's see, have you already reached any clinics, done any clinical trials?
No. We're at an early stage, so we have a prototype of our technology, and now we're looking to develop further in order to validate in the clinic.
Great. And is there intellectual property on this technology, and is it proven?
Well, yes, there's a patent application around the world, which was filed 2 years ago, and we're now in the process of filing nationally around the globe. Okay, great. And you haven't even used up your whole 1 minute for the questions. Nice job. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Tassos Tsirivakos, co-founder of PyDust, which actually has to do with the Greek letter pi, believe it or not. Hello, welcome.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Okay, so hello from us. I am Tassos, co-founder of PyDust, where we extract realistic results from complex chemistry through quantum computing. So, the pharmaceutical industry needs our help. Drug discovery is a very expensive and laborious process. One new drug can take up to 15 years and $2.5 billion to be approved. So an effective way for us to improve drug discovery is to use simulations. Drug development begins usually with the scientific theory, which is then extensively tested in the lab and finally comes up with a number of potential new drugs that will go to human trials. So simulations can help us cut time and costs, and also arrive at a smaller number of potential new drugs with better accuracy. But for now, this can only be done for relatively simple molecules. So traditional simulations need a lot of time to precisely model a simple molecule, while a complex one is next to impossible. This is where quantum computing comes in. Quantum computers are incredibly faster, can help us simulate much more complex molecules and arrive at more precise solutions. Using quantum simulations, we can safely say that the universe of potential new drugs is not only expanded, but also better in its quality. So our software takes in the molecule parameters that we want to study and provides us with the simulation results and some technical statistics. But the secret lies in the calculations we do. After we run an initial classical calculation, we dramatically improve these results by utilizing our proprietary encoding of quantum physics and by applying quantum algorithms on top of that to further improve the result. This method is what gives us our competitive advantage, allowing us to have lower hardware requirements and much lower noise compared to our competitors for the same calculation. A small taste of our product, of our MVP, is as follows. We select the molecule that and we input the distance that we want to study. Then the software dynamically calculates the molecule's energy graph and finally provides us with the results together with some technical information about the hardware. We can also do a calculation for a custom molecule and for a custom distance in all 3 dimensions, X, Y, and Z axis. Now, our go-to-market plan is to leverage our quantum computing hardware partnerships to secure a quick market entry. We plan to close our first clients in the pharmaceutical industry by 2021 and steadily expand in the biotech by late 2022, which is quite a similar industry and similar needs. Quantum computing is a very promising technology right now with applications in many sectors, and Boston Consulting Group recently published a study showing that quantum computer market will reach $2 to $5 billion in the next 3 to 5 years, and its growth rate is expected to be very high. A few words about us. Our founding team started from Bill, who is our CEO and quantum computing expert. Slav is experienced in investments, private equity, and trading. Dimitris has experience as a researcher and is our computational chemistry expert. Paraskevas is our engineer and software development expert. And I have experience running a small pharmaceutical company with my father. In this table, you can see some of the most promising quantum computing companies, the funding that they've raised, and their incorporation year. So I think that there is no doubt that quantum computing is a hot investment area. So for us, time is very precious. We intend to raise a first round of 1.5 million in order to quickly develop our product, establish partnerships, and land our first clients, and then raise a second one of about 5 million that will help us to significantly scale our product and its features, expand to new markets, and increase our clientele. Thank you very much for your attention. That's it from me.
Wow, great. And more than a minute fast. Good for you.
Great.
So let's see, for PyDust, what quantum computing platform do you use?
Right now, we are we are actually at the final stage of establishing a partnership with IBM's quantum machine in order to run the algorithms there. But there are plenty of very accurate simulations, including IBM's, that we can use to be sure that this is working as intended.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was reading the question, so you may have already answered this question. On what kind of quantum computer platform have you tested your development until now?
I believe it's the same question on IBM's quantum computing platform. That's where we started testing the algorithms through their simulation, and right now we are about to enter a partnership with them to use the actual machine, the actual quantum hardware.
Great, thank you. Sorry about that. Being a moderator with looking on my 2 screens, so I'm not paying attention to every step. So good job. All right, I think that's it on the questions. Oh wait, we've got one more. Which is your biggest competitor, and how do you differ from them?
Okay, this is a tough one because the industry is a bit immature yet. But if we're talking about chemistry, it looks like Cambridge Quantum Computing has made a good start. Also QCware, and yeah, I'll stick to those 2. We are better in the noise and in the hardware requirements to run the same experiment. So, for example, if we want to run a simple molecule simulation, we will need less hardware requirements, and we will have a result which has lower noise than what they do, at least benchmarked against with what they have available right now publicly.
Great. Thanks so much. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, narratology. So more to do with travel and also have some fun with your family. Good, you're unmuted. Wonderful.
Hello, Linda.
Hi, good afternoon, Kalispera.
Kalispera. Okay, so hello, everybody. I am Aliki Jovita, co-founder and CEO of Narratologies, a web platform and mobile app that offers interactive city game experiences. The fact is that city tourism and activities have gone up by over 680% in the last 7 years and have actually surpassed the sea and sun holidays, revealing new types of opportunities. This is because millennials, our initial focus, are very diverse type of travelers. As a consequence, the total addressable market of digital tours and activities in the cities has reached 18.3 billion, growing 9% every year. The target market segments involved in this market size are mainly in the transportation, accommodation, and commercial industry. Our initial target are city hotels, and they are appearing rapidly, facing very high competition. What they really need is to get to know their guests, offer them unique experiences, and expand their virtual infrastructure in the urban field. In order for them to learn their customer desires, they use tools like analysis of demographic data or guest surveys, but what we provide is an activity tool for capturing the team behavior and preferences through engagement. And true engagement comes from offering the millennials their own personal part of it and not the usual generic recipes. I have some delays here with the animation. Okay. So imagine you are in the city.
Yeah, can you try using the mouse to click and not the keyboard to move it forward? Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm restarting the time. I didn't run the time while you were doing that. Please continue.
Okay, so imagine you are in the city with your friends and you have downloaded our app. What you see are the points of interest near you, from a museum to a hidden artisan shop or a crazy rooftop view. Fictional characters like the 12 Olympian gods appear as avatars and allow each member of the team to sort of compete with each other, run mini side quests, and collect rewards. For example, you have to please the goddess Athena and collect your offerings to her by choosing to visit one of the local arts and crafts shops of the area near you. When you arrive at the shop you have chosen, you can scan the QR code and collect your offer. You may even have to beat God Poseidon and find the trophy beers first. Through that, you can learn the myth of how Athens City was named after the goddess of wisdom and skill. By the end of your stay, you will have built your team persona and digital souvenirs for you to share on the social media with your friends. All this user-generated content will be projected on the departure wall of the Athens International Airport as the end of a holistic city break experience. So what sets us apart from all these other really strong companies is the personalization of the game experience and thus the group of team data. What we need for that is a combination of behavior and engagement in order to attract new guests, build loyalty, and drive new revenue streams to the hotels. Our go-to-market strategy involves a B2B model where we offer the experience free to the end user and acquire subscription revenue from the hotels as we build our user behavior database on an ongoing basis. We also aim at advertising revenue from in-app campaigns of product companies in order to achieve fast the network effect and scalability. In the foreseen future, we acquire subscription revenue also from our airport and municipality partnerships. Together with Anastasia, CTO of the company, we have been partners for the last couple of years, having installed an interactive exhibit for the National Opera of Greece. We are architects engineers with a master's degree in digital media and design from the NTUA, where we are currently researchers at a European consortium. I'm a very experienced tour guide and cultural curator, and Anastasia is very experienced in urban design and game development. We are now about to launch our double pilot with Athens Municipality and Athens International Airport, as we already collaborate with 26 local shops. Our aim is to establish a strategic triangle expansion in Athens, including the port of Piraeus. We are currently raising a raft of 200,000 euros so as to build our full product, engage with 5,000 users, and sign in our core partnerships. Then we will be ready to expand in other Greek cities and islands, and at the end of this time frame, we will be in several European capitals, serving also corporate clients, local groups, and schools. We think that we'll be at a very good position for an acquisition at this point, but it's our hope and love to build this into the dominant experience tool across Europe by the end of 2024. Thank you very much.
Great job. Sorry about the mouse didn't behave itself at first, but you recovered and did a great job.
Yes.
Question from the audience: which is your biggest competitor, and how do you differ from them?
So right now, our biggest competitors are mainly in the gamification experiences they offer. They are Secret City Trails and Questo, that are the one is a startup in Romania. And what we actually different from them is that we offer a personalized gamification experience. And also we offer an interactive storytelling experience. So they offer classical scavenger hunts games, but we offer a more role-playing enhanced experience game. And also through this personalization process, we create team behavioral profiles that we want to monetize in the future through this gamification process. So it's not only the experience that we offer now, but it's also the profiles that we build through that can be very valuable to our B2B models.
Great. I can't wait to try it myself, I have to admit. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, now we move on to Intelig, where we have more ways to enjoy your city. Konstantinos Yannikomtsakis.
Thank you, Linda. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Konstantinos Yannikomtsakis, CTO and co-founder of Intelig. Our focus is on providing innovative solutions for smart cities that really matter for people there. One of the primary areas is reducing the use of energy. So I'm here to present you today our smart thermostat proposal, SmartProp, which is one of the main products developed by Intelig. We all probably know that buildings are a major contributor to energy consumption, not only in EU, but also globally. What we all probably don't know is that most of this energy is used for heating and cooling purposes in buildings. So our approach was to build a better smart thermostat. The market size of smart thermostats is expected to grow to 7.7 billion euros by 2026. With an annual growth rate of 26%. So other companies also build smart thermostats, but the problem is that they are not as smart as they think they would be. In addition to having wireless communication between the sensors, the thermostat, and the controller, we also have self-learning and self-adjusting capabilities in the cloud that communicates with our thermostats, and that you can also access via the web or your smartphone in order to achieve up to 40% energy savings. In comparison to other companies offering smart thermostats, the advantages of SmartProp are in getting up to 40% energy savings, in keeping a low cost, in combining self-learning with self-adjusting, and in providing multi-zonal control of large and complex buildings. We have several collaborations, and more specifically, we are doing project proposals, both on national and European calls for proposals. We are starting pilot activities for our product in a municipality in Greece, with the Greek Orthodox Church in Luxembourg, and in an apartment building in Brussels, Belgium. And also we are discussing partnerships with several different players. For example, having Omega Group in Belgium as the main product distributor in the Benelux countries. And we are also in discussion with an MITEF Greece mentor for entering the USA market. With this approach, we expect to be able to expand rapidly, starting at the second semester of 2021 in Greece, Benelux, and Spain, with our direct sales to ESCO companies and buildings managers and owners. The price of the smart thermostat system is 125 euros, with an annual subscription fee of 30 to 50 euros for the analysis of the energy consumption data. Moreover, we plan to do some profit sharing with the energy savings. The three co-founders are all engineers with long experience in academia, industry, and product development. I have been working with the CEO of the company, Dr. Christos Ioakimidis, since 2012, when he recruited me as a researcher in his research group. Konstantinos Gotsis later joined our efforts to create the company. We also have a very enthusiastic and talented team with people that are very knowledgeable in their field. We have Nikita as a business analyst, Christina as data analyst, Dr. Ali Bagheri as software hardware developer, and Vasily as software developer. We are currently seeking to raise 650,000 euros for the next 2 years to launch the product in the market, sign 3 to 5 contracts with distributors, and expand across EU and USA. Oops, excuse me. The following year, in 2022, we expect to raise 3.5 million for the other next 2 years to achieve break-even point and expand across the globe. At a glance, Intelig is a company that develops products, provides services, and engages in research in energy, transport, environment, and rural applications. It was founded in 2018, and in this short period of time, we have been awarded the Seal of Excellence by the European Union. We have received patent funding from the European Union as well, and we have 2 projects running, European Horizon 2020 and OY to Lab project. Thank you very much for your attention. I will gladly answer to your questions.
All right, that was right on time, as you could probably tell. We don't have a question, so I thought maybe I could give you a chance to say something about one of your other products that's part of your smart city innovations.
Yes, although the focus today is the smart thermostat, we also participated last year in the MITEF competition with Airbox for You, which is a personalized air monitoring solution that is intended for people and children specifically that suffer from asthma, and elderly people that suffer from respiratory problems. And it consists of a wearable electronic gadget that comes with smartphone applications that allow the users to plan their day with self-confidence, to plan their outdoor activities by avoiding exposure to poor air quality.
Great, thank you so much. So go to Intelig if you need smart solutions for smart cities in order to make living better. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we move on to people of the moment getting a chance to mentor their fans. It's a really interesting new idea. Eleftherios is the co-founder and CEO. Are you with me?
Hello, my name is Eleftherios Miriounis. I'm the CEO of Momentor, where we help influencers monetize their fame. In fact, when you are an influencer, which by definition means that you have at least 10,000 followers or subscribers in a single social media platform, you have limited options for interacting with your fans and monetize your time. You can either reach a lot of your fans through ads and placements, which is a relatively low effort but doesn't give you a lot of income. You can do a big event such as a movie, a concert, or something like that, which takes a lot of effort to put but brings you a high income. or you can accept donations through Patreon. At Momentor, we are a great opportunity to interact one-on-one with fans without bringing a lot of effort. So the best of both worlds, high income, low effort. So our platform is allowing influencers to set the time they like, allow fans to book time with them, the fans pay for it, and we set up and support the video call. This can take place in a lot of different ways. For instance, if someone wants to have a 10-minute conversation with a favorite influencer, or they can have the opportunity to get mentoring advice from the people they love. Our revenue model is based on a 25% commission on every booking. In fact, we are talking about a market opportunity of about $10 billion because there are over 28.5 million influencers worldwide, and that number is growing by 40% year over year. There are other companies that are doing different kinds of platforms to allow more interactions, like Tank Mango, which is backed by Y Combinator, and Super Peer, which raised a $2 million pre-seed round last month. But they are really limited in terms of time, such as Loop Live. If you have only a minute with the influencer, that means that you don't get value from it except from the excitement of the interaction. At Momentor, our focus is on how can we improve the quality of the interactions. Ours last from 10 minutes to a full hour. Also, we are targeting influencers with some 100,000 followers because we believe that there is a big opportunity at this range. Our go-to-market strategy includes paying promotion for our platform from celebrities and a unique email marketing campaign. Actually, we already started cold emailing about 600 carefully selected Greek influencers. The results are great. Over 75% open rate, about 24% click-through rate, and 5% of them are negotiating to join our platform. To defend our company from the competition, we are planning to sign exclusive contracts with some celebrities in exchange for a lower commission. We are targeting to charge about 30 euros per call on average to grow our revenue by 20% month over month, and every influencer support 4 calls per month. We are completely self-funding to this point. Before we raise our first round, we will have at least 10 influencers online. They will take 4 calls per month with our focus on Greece. We'll be raising 300k euros later this year, and we would love to have you participate in that. This will help us sign about 1,000 influencers by the end of 2021 across Europe to deliver about 5,000 calls. In addition, this will give us the opportunity to incorporate in the United States, which will make it easier for us to be a global corporation. In 2022, we expect to raise a Series A round of about 1.5 million euros to support our growth to 10,000 influencers, delivering 400,000 calls and earning about 5 million euros in annual recurring revenue by the end of 2023. Our team is very young, and yet we have a lot of experience already. 2 of the founders have 3 companies between us. We are very passionate about being entrepreneurs and making this company a big success. Thanks for your time.
Great job. That you're planning on doing a lot of growth very quickly, which is of course the right thing to be doing in this space. Do you have an exit strategy in mind, or are you planning on keeping this and growing it into a public business sometime?
Could you repeat, please?
What is your exit strategy?
We believe that in about 4 to 5 years, our company can be acquired by a bigger one like Cameo, a startup which helps influencers monetize by short video interaction or any of its competitor, or from a big social media company like Instagram, Facebook. Also, there are some other options like Masterclass, online courses platform, which brings celebrities to have some masterclasses.
All right, we're going on to OptiCharge. I feel like I should be an octopus with enough arms to keep track of everything here. But yes, welcome, Viviana Papastamou. Let me get you your
thank you,
mouse.
Linda.
You're very welcome. Let me get you your mouse control. And so more cool energy technologies. Take it away.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Viviana Papastamou, and I'm here to present to you our company, which is named OptiCharge. OptiCharge is a company that operates in the field of electric mobility, and more specifically in the sector of electric charging. Electric mobility can give a huge boost to the protection of the environment. However, nothing good comes easy.
Not going? There we go. Try clicking with the mouse rather than with the keyboard.
Okay. Electric vehicles are already here, and so are the problems associated with their use. In particular, charging electric vehicles is a major challenge that needs to be overcome. The infrastructure required for charging is typically very expensive and can be hardly supported by the electricity grid. These problems lead to a reduced availability of charging stations. This could be felt, for an example, in California during Thanksgiving, where long queues of electric vehicles were formed in front of charging stations. Currently, the number of electric cars is 25 million, and we already have long queues in front of charging stations. It is believed that by 2030, 30% of all the cars that will be sold will be electric. Based on these projections, the total number of electric vehicles will be around 250 million. Addressing the aforementioned issue is essential. As discussed, there are multiple challenges related to the charging of electric vehicles. Firstly, we need to ensure that the power grid remains stable. Also, the required infrastructure is expensive, and so is the actual charging. Lastly, charging of electric vehicles is quite slow, so power managing is crucial. OptiCharge is here to solve the problem. Our product combines both software and hardware in order to pursue an outright solution for the charging of electric vehicles. Our patent hardware is plug and play with every existing charging infrastructure and, in combination with our software, gives our clients the ability to increase their electric spots. Also, we offer our clients the capability to participate in the newfound energy market. More specifically, we take into account the problem as a whole and try to manage every aspect of it in the finest way possible. The problem is quite chaotic, and so we logically divided it at 3 different levels: charger, block, and grid. For example, at grid level, we considered the limited capability of the grid to satisfy energy demand, either because of the charger specs or because many companies fall into the same block. OptiCharge addresses that problem at all different levels. We have divided our competitors into categories based on their field of operation as shown. So, we have charger manufacturers who produce chargers but who do not take into account the grid stability and the scalability, nor do they manage efficiently the infrastructure and operational cost. We have the electric fleet operators who partially ensure grid stability but who cannot minimize the infrastructure cost nor scale up. By March 2020, we gained the auspices of the Greek Ministry of Environment and Energy and also gained the support of the National and Technical University of Athens. In the coming May, we will have our pilot program with the Ministry of Environment, and by September, we'll have delivered our services in full to our first client, the municipality of Zographou. At this moment, we have a direct sales approach towards the government and the municipalities. By 2021, we will be selling directly to companies. Also, we are planning on approaching utility companies in order to sell services to the energy market and other similar services. Here you can see our financial projections for the next 5 years. We assume that we will break even in the next 2 years. Until 2021, we will be focusing solely on the Greek market before exploring the European market in 2022. But before I go on, I would like to take a moment and talk about our amazing team. We have been working together since 2018 when we teamed up in the National and Technical University of Athens. Our team is really important because we have people with great expertise in all different fields that we need. To conclude, here we have our moving forward plan for the next 3 years. We have already obtained 1 million in grants from European programs in order to validate our algorithms and prepare for our first pilot. We require another 2 million in order to further penetrate the Greek market and the European market. We wish to deploy more than 50,000 charging slots, and from 2023 onward, we want to penetrate the global market by obtaining our first clients in the US and Asia and launching full production in order to earn 50 million in revenue. Electric vehicles are the future and are also part of the solution for climate change. And as Bill Gates once said, climate change is a terrible problem, and it absolutely needs to be solved. It deserves a huge priority. Thank you very much for your time and attention.
Great job. You had 6 seconds left, so that was perfect timing.
Great, thank you.
So question from the audience, which EU markets are you targeting first? How will you enter those markets?
Hello, my name is Konstantinos Kichagias, and I will answer the questions regarding technical and financial.
Okay.
We are planning to enter market abroad with EU products. We have already have an horizon that will let us cooperate with some municipalities abroad. So we have some in France and some in Germany. So that's our plan and how we will enter the EU client.
Terrific. Thank you so much. And way to step in. You really surprised me. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Let's see. So our next speaker is Agisaros Kyriatis from PTA Eco-Orthotics well, if you really fell in love with RoboCop when you saw those movies, you are going to totally love this pitch.
So hello everyone, I am Agisaros Kyriatis, PhD mechanical engineer and also product designer of PTA Rehab Eco-Orthotics, which designs and produces fully 3D printed passive exoskeleton parts. And what does it mean? Do you remember RoboCop? RoboCop wears an exoskeleton, and this is Linda. I have not now the control. I can move in the next slide. If you can do it for me.
It's there. RoboCop is showing.
Okay. Do you remember RoboCop? RoboCop wears an exoskeleton, and you saw in the previous slide what does now PTA produce. Okay, next slide, please. We address to 2.6 billion patients, 400 million physicians, 30 million hospitals, 4 million rehab clinics globally. And the global orthopedics market in 2023 it is expected to grow up to $66.3 billion. Now, the average of the rehabilitation cost per person and per month is about 3.5 thousand euros. Okay, next slide, please.
You should be able to control it. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. The problem with the traditional rehab splint technology is the slower recovery due to the non-ergonomic design, the one size that fits none, and the unattractive design, which affects indirectly patient psychology. This is our solution, our first optimized product for rehabilitation. You can see the innovative design. It's lightweight, waterproof, full customized, quick and easy to order, and we use eco-friendly material, and that's the reason that we are PTA Eco-Orthotics. We also produce masks and reprotectors with the same advantages as we saw in the previous slide. They are also strong and safe, and we can write over them the brand name of the company, the team, or the name of the player. The process is fast and easy. We have first the doctor's recommendation if we are talking about splint, the online selection of the product from the customer, the insert of the critical dimension in our eShop in order to optimize our design, after 3D print our final product and we deliver it to the end customer. This process takes about 1.5 days. We are the only one in the market who makes fast, scalable and online customized exoskeletons. No one of our competitors does. Only personalized exoskeletons with individual personalization, with the slow, not scalable, and offline. And also we have competitors who makes mass production sprints that have to cut and to fit. We have already produced 80 orthotic devices for seniors motorsport, and we are very proud that we made the first in the world PET exoskeleton fully 3D printed with suspension system, and also null protection masks with our partner Calusos. Our revenue streams. We now make medical devices and sports equipment, and we'll sell them through our distributors to clinics and hospitals, sport gear suppliers, and we expect in 2022 to have also vet supply distributors and to sell pet exoskeletons in animal clinics and hospitals. At the end, we have our users. We ask about $350,000 in order to sign with medical and sport distributors to continue sales increase and to afford the patent process, which is in progress. In 21 to 22, we expect about 5 million in order to activate our ESOP to accomplish collaborations with health centers in Cyprus and USA and to serve about 36,000 users. And finally, 2023 and 24, we expect up to $16 million in order to enable live dimensions, to expand health centers all over the globe, and to establish production hotspots and lab stores. This is our team with full vision and passion. We are very proud to have Alexandra Samatopoulou, Paralympic champion and world champion in our team, who gives us very important feedback for products for people with disabilities. Finally, keep in mind 3 things for us. We produce full exoskeletons for multiple applications, global scalability using 3D printing technology. We are PTA Rehabic Orthotics, and we exist because you are unique. Thank you very much.
Wow, 5 seconds left. Great job, and I still want that dog. Okay, so let's see. We have a couple of questions. One was early on asking about competition, so I think we're fine with that. What kind of 3D printing technologies do you use, and what kind of materials, and what kind of tests do you employ on your prints?
Okay, thank you for your question. We now use FDM technology as the common use 3D printing technology, and also PLA as a main material because it is easy to find. It is easy to thermoform in order to find and to make the shape that we want. And finally, for high performance issues and products, let's say as the PET exoskeletons that you see now in the final slide, we use carbon PLA, and in order to afford this structural pain and forces, and not to collapse the whole exoskeleton.
Okay. All right, and yes or no, do you have any letters of intent?
Yes, we have.
Excellent, congratulations. I'm gonna have to cut you off at that. Great job, thank you.
Welcome,
all right.
Welcome.
Okay, please mute yourself. All right, next is a special guest to this program, Nelly Papacosta Sampatakaki. I was so close. Sampatakaki from 0% Risk. She was with the from the EGG program at Pierce College, telling us how we won't need any of those great RoboCop splints.
Hello everyone, my name is Kanela Pakosa Sabatakaki and I am the co-founder of 0% Risk. My partner Maria Papangeletou and I, students of BLAC, created this company to help you keep your dependent loved ones safe and secure. But let us be clear, we want to protect the very young and the very old. The very old who suffer from dementia because there is the possibility that we will wander and get lost, and the young children, since there have been many child abductions in the US, not only from healthcare facilities but also from their own houses. We aim to relieve working parents from the constant anxiety they have for their loved one's safety. Our product can be used by the 200,000 people with dementia in Greece or the 500,000 young children. In the future, it will also be available for use in the EU and globally in the numbers visible on screen. 0% risk is as user-friendly as possible. It is always on and provides real-time notifications. Moreover, it is unobtrusive since it affects neither the caregivers nor the person's everyday life. Last but not least, it's monitored by professionals if that is the caregiver's desire. So, what is 0% risk about? An RFID detector is installed at the entrance of the house where the person who needs monitoring sits. A special bracelet with a chip GPS and a panic button is placed at the patient's arm. In case the patient leaves the house, a notification is sent to the cell phone of one or more family members or legal guardians with a link of the monitored individual's Google Maps location. One future plan for 0% risk is to give to the caregiver one more option. Through the email, they will be able to ask for the local authorities or police's help. So, moving on this board you can see other products on the market similar to ours. The best quality of our product is the radiation it produces. It is strictly reduced to minimum. Adding to that, 0% risk offers real-time monitoring and notifications. It is also, as we mentioned before, appropriate for any age, the young and the old. It is convenient, comfortable, and it provides instant response by professionals. And now 0% risk's future plan. Our product consists of two OTS components, the RFID detector and the bracelet. Once these two are purchased during 2020, our enterprise will partner with elder care facilities first, and then with the caregivers in order for the patients with dementia to be helped. In 2021, hopefully, we will partner with child care facilities such as kindergartens and parents in order to protect children from 2 to 7 years old. For this plan to be completed, we need 500,000 euros in order to produce the RFID detector and the bracelet, as well as to develop further our product and establish partnerships. 0% risk is the most affordable and safe alternative, as the hardware costs only 50 euros and the subscription fee is only 10 euros per month. The subscription fee is for the instant notification to be sent. 0% risk is the most, on this slide, we can see 0% risk's timeline from November 2018 till today. So, 0% risk has won the Junior Quiz competition conducted by the Dutch Embassy and the Greek finals of the Diamond Challenge competition 2020. But now let's see the people behind the curtains. Maria Papagiliadou, the other co-founder, is the PR and marketing manager as well as legal affairs counselor. I, Nelly Papakossa-Sabatakaki, am the finance and sales manager and IT counselor. So these are the organizations that really helped us develop our product through the years. We thank them very much for all their support so far. Thank you so much for your attention.
Great job, Nelly, especially finishing on time with all of those technical problems. We don't have any questions and we're running super late, so I'm just going to move us right forward again. Great job, though. Thank you for participating. While we move on here to Finloop. All right.
Hi, Linda.
Now you're going to tell us how we can get the cash to solve those problems, huh?
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Antonis Prenzas, and I'm the CEO at Finloop. Our goal is to provide access to microloans for emergency situations in Greece and eventually across all Europe and beyond. Consumers need cash in a lot of point-of-sale situations. Our first use case is car-related damages. Imagine a young professional who gets into an accident. She calls her insurer to help her go to a garage. Her insurance policy does not cover 100% of the costs, so she must dig into her pocket for an extra 1,000. Unfortunately, she doesn't have enough savings in the bank. The insurer wants to help, so they partner with a bank to provide microloans. However, it takes a lot of time to approve a loan, or the fees are very high, or both. At Finloop, we say that's not the right way. We partner with the insurer and come right at the point of sale to analyze the consumer's banking data and get instant quotes for multiple lenders. In that way, we provide personalized financing options to each consumer, easy, affordable, and online. Although we focus on the consumer, we help banks and other ecosystem participants to reach almost 1 million borrowing opportunities generated by Greek millennials. We know that banks can take up to 3 weeks to process such a loan. We can minimize that to a few minutes, providing access to more than 800,000 consumers. Garages, on the other hand, get a lot of cash-strapped consumers. With us, they get cash upfront and increase gross revenues by up to 10%. Initially, we are focusing on Greek millennials who are involved in almost 1 million cases of accidents, breakdowns, or regular maintenance. With an average ticket of 1.2 thousand, the potential financing opportunity reaches 1.1 billion. We take 5% from the garage making the sale, generating 55 million in gross revenues, shared between Finloop and lenders. The reason we make this happen is because our scoring process classifies borrowers instantly. Starting from the user, she consents to share her banking data with Finloop, always in compliance with EU guidelines. We obtain this data from bank APIs and proceed to real-time analysis. We verify her income, assign a credit score, and create a behavioral financial profile. This leads to an optimal credit decision that fits both the consumer and the lender. The principles of our product are simple, fast, and easy. The consumer sees what she's buying in and then connects her bank accounts. We analyze the data and provide a simple report, which is then shared with the lenders. Then we choose the best product for her needs, but always leave the final choice on her. Once approved, the amount is disbursed to the garage and there's no more fuss. There are a few competitors abroad, but we stand out by bringing a nice mix of benefits to consumers. Through our multi-lender approach, we provide instant access to cash, wider consumer coverage with no hidden fees. On top of this, we take good care matching the best product for an individual's profile. We use our process to provide optimal credit for consumers in blind spot markets such as Greece. Using Finloop, there's no need for standardized scores anymore. Finloop team is experienced in complementary aspects of the finance sector, from open APIs to software security to non-performing loans and quant analysis. We have it all. Additionally, we've piqued the interest of certain key industry executives who are now serving as our advisors. Up until now, we've been self-funded. We've built a working prototype and started initial discussions with an insurer and a lender. For the next phase of our growth, we seek 400,000 that will help us sign said insurer and lender with the aim to conduct a pilot with 2,000 borrowers. In 2 years from now, we will seek 1.5 million to expand in select European countries and scale in 2 verticals, health insurance and e-commerce. At around 2024, we vision to create a Finloop card to help the consumer buy now and pay later at any point of sale. Thank you.
Great job. You have 2 questions. Going to go really quick because we are now at the time limit for the webinar. We're not going to shut down or anything, but just to keep things moving. Question 1, examples of scaling up, please. Please be brief.
Sorry, can you repeat that? This is Mario, by the way.
Do you have any examples of scaling up?
Yeah. First vertical we'll scale up is health insurance, which is actually a really huge issue. Now you have to pay only with a maximum of 3 installments using your credit card, which reduces your limit, and obviously is not convenient for all consumers.
Okay, moving on to our last 3 speakers. Thank you so much for all of your extended attention here. We've still got a great audience here. So let's go with, okay, you're unmuted, good job. With Syndices, Michael Agapiou, the CEO. This is one of our best marine technologies for this year. There you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening. 90% of world's trade is carried by sea. we are in need of a sustainable shipping for a sustainable planet. The regulatory bodies try to address the issue the way they know best, by introducing more regulations. Ships are now obliged to annually report, have independently verified their fuel emission and consumption. This adds up to the workload of crew and technical officers of ship management companies, compromising their efficiency to perform important tasks, such as timely data analysis for ship performance optimization. This is where Synthesis steps in. We provide ship management companies with a technology enabler, a cloud-based software integrating their existing technology and reporting systems, enriching the ship's reported data through satellite position, navigational, and weather data, and performing high-level validation and analytics through advanced algorithms and internal experts auditing. We can thus provide accurate and reliable actionable insights for increased efficiency. Furthermore, by compiling the validated data and providing secure remote access to the authorities, Synthesis can serve all relevant regulatory requirements and all involved parties' needs at the same time, making compliance easy for all. Data is gold, and Synthesis is in a unique position to collect ships' data in real time, analyze them, and provide various parallel services, insights, and support to maritime industry companies, governments, and port authorities. With Synthesis, companies can achieve up to 90% reduction in burden for compliance, translated in 70% reduction in relevant costs. Most importantly, Synthesis offers key technical personnel peace of mind, allowing efficient monitoring for efficient ship operations and fuel savings. Synthesis was designed and built to serve the entire maritime ecosystem. Our holistic approach allows forming strategic cooperations with verifiers and flag administrations, which significantly increase the market penetration. We differentiate from our competition as we provide a modular, cost-effective, high-yield solution for enhanced compliance and efficiency, which at the same time reduces dramatically the compliance administrative burden. We have a diverse and experienced management team, an established global network and partners, and an accelerated high market penetration route. Starting off with our own limited resources, we managed to penetrate the market and become self-sustainable since year one, setting the foundations for future rapid growth. To ensure cost effectiveness, Synthesis is modular, consisting of the compliance and the efficiency module at 500 and 1,000 euros respectively per ship per year. 350 ships operated by companies in Cyprus, Greece, Lebanon, and Panama are currently served by Synthesis, with an over 100% retention rate, meaning that not only the first-time services are converted to recurring, but also that additional ships of existing clients signed up or upgraded services, building loyalty. Moreover, a letter of intent for testing the efficiency module of our software using historic and real-time data for a fleet of 50 ships has been signed, setting up the ground for taking our software, algorithms, and AI to the next level. We are currently looking to raise €500,000. This will provide us with a 2-year runway for strengthening our team and infrastructure, launching version 3 of our software, and scaling fast, reaching up to 2,300 ships and €1.25 million revenues by end of 2023. From that position, we aim to expand our services and claim a prominent position in the maritime big data market. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Question. We have many such companies like Danaos, MITEF, and a few others in the world over. What differentiates you from them as they too have modules?
It is being differentiated because we have introduced a specific way to assist companies. We call it pre-verification of data. So we provide also manpower for the companies rather than just a simple module that aggregates data. So verification process requires supporting evidence and a lot of back and forth. We take care of the whole process, which no other company currently does. And in addition, it is a system that can use only existing technology on board ships. No need to install any software, or any hardware on board. We use whatever they use on their daily operations, and we make use of the data they already compiled. And we provide advanced analytics for any level of company to the same advanced level. So companies with no technology can reach the level of companies of high technology.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank
All
you.
right, on to our penultimate presentation with featuring our second engine technology, and I'm so grateful to him. He goes by Dzikis, CEO and co-founder of another great engine technology. Let me get you the control of the mouse. And I think I heard your voice. Let me double check there.
I'm here.
Okay, you're ready to go.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Vasilis Giriadzikis, but since no one can pronounce my last name, let alone Linda, everybody just calls me Dzikis. And I'm here with less engines to convince you that less is more. I don't know if you're looking at the second slide right now or the first one.
Yeah, second.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm lagging a bit behind. So what we do at Less Engine, and I know that you're not able to see it very well right now, is we have a mechanism that converts reciprocating motion to rotary motion. That means that this thing that's going up and down, we convert that to a circular motion. It's patented, and the innovation here is that we can do the same kind of job, the same performance and efficiency as the most common design that you see on the left, but we do this at half the size. And these mechanisms are found in pumps, compressors, and internal combustion engines. And in fact, we have already built a prototype for both a pump and an engine. Again, I don't know if you're looking at the third slide.
Yes.
But essentially, these three things are everywhere around us. They are the main component of a lot of major industries. And the one that we're targeting right now as our beachhead market is irrigation and water supply, which I know is not the first choice that you would expect. But it's a very big market. It's $10 billion in Greece, globally, and $5 million in Greece. And it's the current systems are quite inefficient. They're very, very big, and they cost a lot. They cost about $10,000 per pound, whereas we come in with our design, which is a quarter of the size, which is very important because this thing needs to be installed in the fields and transported there, so the size matters, and it's half the cost as well compared to the current designs. And most importantly, we have a finalized prototype that's ready to market, and with our partners, we can manufacture it and distribute it in the Greek market in the next 3 months. Well, pending coronavirus updates, of course. Now, I did mention engines, and I know that when people think about engines, they think cars, but I want you to just forget about cars for a bit. In fact, the market that we're going for is outboard motors, which in Greek is exolemvias, just so you know what we're talking about. And the reason for that is because size and weight matter much, much more for this market. It's also simpler to develop a prototype and develop a final product because it's simpler and it requires less R&D, and it's also not getting electrified anytime soon. So these things will be around us for a couple of decades at least, and we are improving them. Now, some more info about the engine. I don't know if I progressed there. Yeah, okay. So what you see on here as well, on the left is the current engine design, and on the right is an engine design with our mechanism. And the part you see on the right has the same fuel consumption, the same performance, and the same efficiency of the part you see on the left, but it has less size, it has less weight as a result of that, and less material cost and manufacturing cost. And it also has fewer components, so it requires less maintenance. In fact, with about 30% less size, as you can see, it's 15 centimeters height compared to 25 centimeters height, and we are more than 30% less weight at 5 and 6 kilos compared to 9 kilos on the traditional design. Now, let's talk about the team a bit. We are also a family startup here. You could say that we know each other for quite a long time, and we have very complementary skills. I myself have an entrepreneurial background. I started my first company in 2012, and sold it at 2017. My father is the mechanical engineer and the principal inventor behind the patent. He has decades of experience designing and manufacturing also mechanical devices. And my sister Elpida is a business advisor. She has worked for McKinsey in the past. She has worked at big corporates, and she advises us in market strategy and business development. And this is essentially where we are right now. Currently, we are focusing on the deep well market, as I already said. And we also have a 500,000 euro research grant to extend the patent coverage globally and also design the first more market-ready engine prototype. So in 3 years, we hope that we will have an engine design that is showcaseable, and ideally would like to license a patent for the deep well market. That's it. Thank you very much for me. And if this sounds interesting to you, get in touch with us.
Definitely interesting. I love this technology, but I'm sorry to say we have no questions. So I'm going to move us on to our last presentation, but it's beautiful job. Okay, so our last pitch is from CEO George Skaitas, founder of our Rescue Biotech, which I think is a very exciting new approach to getting better drugs for some of the scariest diseases that we still don't have a good cure for.
Kalispera σας. I am Yorgos Kretas, founder and CEO of Rescue Biotech, which is a spin-off company of the National Hellenic Research Foundation. Rescue Biotech utilizes innovative biotechnologies to discover new and effective drugs against protein misfolding diseases. Misfolding diseases are a large group of more than 50 disorders which are caused because certain proteins in our bodies acquire a problematic shape. They include many devastating diseases such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, and type 2 diabetes that affect hundreds of millions of people worldwide. The vast majority of these conditions remain incurable to date, so there is currently a great need for the development of effective therapeutics against them. At Rescue Biotech, we exploit the tremendous power of biotechnology in order to advance early-stage drug discovery. Our technology offers a number of important advantages. First, it allows us to investigate an enormous library of molecules to start the discovery process. This increases the chances of identifying compounds with the desired properties. Second, it allows us to investigate molecules which have never been studied before and identify new bioactive molecular entities without any prior intellectual property restrictions. Third, the process is so simple, fast, and cheap that we can do what other approaches do in months in only a few days, and at just a small fraction of the cost. Finally, it constitutes a platform technology, which can be readily applicable to potentially every protein misfolding disease. Imagine the impact of that. How do we do it? We have engineered E. coli bacteria genetically so as to function as a standalone living discovery platform for drugs rescuing disease-related protein misfolding. As part of this platform, we have first turned the bacteria into a cell factory for the production of hundreds of millions to billions of molecules. These molecules belong to a certain class of compounds called cyclic peptides, and each microbial cell within this bacterial army is producing a different peptide. Then we have engineered the bacteria further so that they can also produce the target human protein in its misfolded form. And we have programmed them in such a way so that the bacteria producing bioactive cyclic peptides that can fix the misfolding suddenly become green fluorescent. In this manner, we can pick the good green soldiers out of a huge army of dark bacteria and identify bioactive peptides that they produce almost instantaneously. Up to now, we have identified curative drugs against ALS, Alzheimer's disease, and a particular form of cancer. Patent applications have been filed, and we own an exclusive license for their exploitation. Rescue Biotech performs drug discovery and development at the preclinical stage. The end users of our molecules are the patients, but our customers are large pharma companies who want to enrich their pipelines with new drugs. We generate revenue by licensing out our molecules or by running a discovery program on behalf of a third company. Our first use disease target is ALS. This choice was made for 4 reasons. First, this is a devastating neurodegenerative disease. Second, ALS cannot be cured or treated effectively. Third, it is a rare disease and thus many incentives are being offered to companies that develop drugs against it. And fourth, it is a misfolding disease with much smaller competition. ALS drugs will become a billion-dollar industry soon. In order for us to estimate the share of the market that our molecules will achieve, we have looked at similar previous deals, and we have found that these typically amount to about $30 million in upfront payments, plus about $60 million in milestone payments. Currently, we are raising our seed round of funding in order to complete the full preclinical development of our ALS molecules. This will take approximately 2.5 years, and for that, we are asking for 2.5 million euros. In 5 to 10 years from now, our goal is to become a drug discovery company with a broad pipeline for a number of misfolding diseases. Let's see if I can get the slide to move forward. There you go. Our team combines a lot of experience in biotechnology, pharmaceutical chemistry, business development, and neuroscience. We hope we will be among the finalists of this competition so that you have the chance to learn more about our technology and our team. Thank you very much for your attention.
Wow, perfect timing, wonderful technology, and thank you for that presentation. And I have to say again that I just love the way that you've demonstrated how the bacteria are turned into factories. That was really very helpful in understanding. Let's see if we have any questions here. Let's see. Okay, it looks like we don't have any questions, which I'm surprised at, but nonetheless, we've gone a bit over time. So great job for everybody who is here. We will be providing you with a recording of the entire presentation, so you'll have access to it via the MIT Enterprise Forum of Greece. And I also would like to take a moment here to invite our sponsor to have a few more comments. I hope you found this engaging and lots of exciting technologies here, but any closing comments would be really wonderful.
Yeah, hi Linda, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
That's great. Well, it was really a very nice presentation of all the teams. Of course, I had to focus on the energy teams that are really more related to our scope. And they span to all our interests, including electrical mobility, smart cities, hydrogen, a very nice presentation. Also, a nice presentation for the thermostats and so on, the rotary equipment, the one with the thermoelectric energy that could be rather innovative and very, very nice. Plus the last one with reciprocating motion that is converted to the rotary motion. In fact, I was impressed because if you compare it with last year's presentations and participations, this year we had very nice applications and quite innovative indeed. The point is that even now I'm puzzled which one I would prefer, but they are really nice. And I believe that if we continue on this, we will raise a lot of, these guys will raise a lot of money and go ahead for their next step to industrialize it and offer it to the public. Great job.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for your ongoing support. We couldn't do it without you and the rest of our great sponsors. Everybody in the audience, I will keep that's the end of the presentations, but I will keep the questions open for a few more moments in case anybody has some last questions. I do have a request for the 0% risk presentation. I'm sorry that we had such a bad connection to, I guess Nellie was in Pierce College. We'll try to get a second recording of her pitch and cut it in there if I can manage to do that. so that you get to hear all of the presentations. So thank you. Thank you to Hellenic Petroleum and to all of our other great sponsors. Thank you to the staff at the MIT Enterprise Forum of Greece. And thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of the entrepreneurs for your hard work and being so great to work with and collaborate on coming up with these pitches. Now, really impressed me with the next version at the finals. All the best.